everyone, Bernie here from Stampin'Up. Welcome back to my craft room this week, and in this week's card making session with you I am going to be featuring the beautiful Abundant Beauty masks. Next week I'm going to be featuring one of the other masks in the set, but today, as you can figure out, we're going to be doing this sunflower combination. And I just love how Stampin'Up have given us these numbers. Can you see those? And these little grooves. And that just means that when you are building your sunflower or building your flowers, you're going to do it beautifully and accurately. Now, I've changed the rules a little bit with the colors of my sunflowers, and the reason for that is that there is the 150th celebration of Color Inspiration. Now, Color Inspiration, I'm on the creative team for that, and we are celebrating 150 posts this week. So, super excited to be part of that team, and this is a card I've made. It's not going to be the one I'm featuring on the Color Inspiration Challenge. I'll show you that one at the end. But these are the colors that we're working with. So it's Calypso, Coral, Pumpkin Pie, Old Olive, Pretty Peacock, and Sweet Sorbet. And I think they are absolutely gorgeous. So, shall we get started? You're going to need a basic white base, and that's my usual measurements. I'm just finding my bone folder. So or whatever you use as a base. So I'm going to be using white for that. And I've decided I'm going to use Calypso Coral as my mat. So I'm going to set those to the side because we're going to start with our masking. So I just want to bring in some scrap paper here, and I'm going to bring in a little bit of a post-it note. I don't have any of those gorgeous sticky papers that everybody uses, but that's okay. Use what you have. You don't have to necessarily go out and create something or make an expensive purchase if you don't have them. I don't think they're that expensive, but I don't have it. Okay. So we're going to start with number one. Number one. Come on, camera. Number one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the mask in the position that I want it. Let me push those out the way. And I'm just using my pen. So you see how I've leveled it up over there? So I'm just going to use my pen as the notch. The first color that I'm going to be using is Calypso Coral. Now, I just want to move my card out the way a little bit because I do tend to pick up ink quite generously. I'm going to be using my orange blending brush. And for Calypso, for the base, I really want to go super light. I don't want this initial base to be very, very dark. So I'm just going over my flowers very, very lightly. And now I'm just going to pick up a little bit of extra ink, and I'm just focusing on the tips of my flowers. Just bringing in a little bit of interest on those tips. Again, you can make this as light or as dark as you want. Okay, so the beauty of these, because the notches are there, you can actually release this and see if you're happy with that, which I am. So I'm not going to take the mask away just yet because I now want to bring in Pumpkin Pie. And I'm just going to wipe off that Calypso Coral on that piece of scrap. I'm just going to hold that and lifting up my pumpkin pie, I am centering putting the ink around the edge of my flowers. So I'm not going into the petals, I'm just keeping it around the edge in circular motion. Alright, let's have a look. I'm just going to lift this up again. And I love that. So I'm going to take that away. And I've got a baby wipe nearby, and it literally just cleans off with a baby wipe. So just always good practice to clean your tools after you've used them. Okay, so the next one in the pattern is number 2, which is the leaf. So again, I'm bringing that notch to where I put my pen, and I'm going to be using Old Olive, and I'm going to get my green brush. So I've got brushes per color, not per Stampin' Up brand. And again, I'm just coming in very lightly. When you're doing this sort of masking and blending, now this one's going to be slightly different. I can already see this leaf is a bit closer to my previous one. Alright, let's lift that and have a look. Very pretty. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close that, and I'm going to bring in, believe it or not, Pretty Peacock. So that's going to be my blue blending brush. So I'm bringing that in. I'm holding that mask in position. Just want to check I don't move it too much. I may have just slightly moved that. And I'm going in the stem, just in the middle. Just ever so slightly. I am going to use Pretty Peacock for the sentiment, so I don't want too much of it here. Yeah. I have moved my mask just a tad. That's annoying. Cool. And I'm going to leave it at that. Alright. Clean off the mask. And now we come to the last color and the last 2 stages. So number 3 in the notch. Cool. And I'm using Sweet Sorbet for this. Now the trick for this first step is to go, I just want to make sure I hold this gently, very lightly for the first step. Just a little bit of color in there. Okay. Cool. And now, clean it off, Bernie. Keeping the Sweet Sorbet, we're going to bring in the last notch. Just want to make sure I've got it right. And now I'm really layering my Sweet Sorbet on there so that it's going to create a beautiful contrast against the paler Sweet Sorbet. Okay, let's just move that. Beautiful. All right, almost there. I'm just cleaning that off camera and just closing this. So the last thing, rounding my brushes. So the last thing we just need to do now, and I just want to move this into the camera, is to ink the happy birthday. And I've chosen that sentiment from the Something Fancy stamp set. So I'm going to bring in the happy birthday, making sure it's inked up nicely, and I'm just going to place it over that leaf. Hold it straight for a while and release. Fantastic. Okay, not far to go now. Can take this off. So you see the post-it note is a easy thing to use. Now all we need to do is we just need to glue it onto our mat. Of course you can use traditional sunflower colors if you want, but I am quite the rebel in this one, and I'm going to be doing my own thing, which I'm quite happy about. And now we're just going to add this onto this card base. And if you want, you can add some bling. I'm inclined to leave it. I think it's beautiful as it is. So that's the one we've made today. That's the one I made in preparation for my video. And then this is the one that I'm actually featuring on my Color Inspiration page as a crew member, where I have done the old olive in the gorgeously made bundle by doing a second and third generation. The splatter comes from the Laying Leaves in Pretty Peacock. I did a heat emboss with gold on vellum, and then used my alcohol blending pens on the reverse side to color in the wings, and I've repeated the same happy birthday in the Pretty Peacock. So there you've got some beautiful options for the Color Inspiration Challenge. And if you haven't yet participated in a Color Inspiration Challenge, why not think about doing it for the 150th challenge? But even more exciting is that on the 9th of September, I am participating in a live virtual party. I will be one of 6 demonstrators, and we will be demonstrating 6 projects out of the brand new mini catalog that is launching on the 6th of September. Registrations are open. The drop down for the registration link is down below, so click on the link that says see more, and you will be able to register for that. I think that's all you needed to know for that, and it is important that you register. You can't just hop in on the live, because we are making sure that everybody that registers are the people that are actually on the live. So yeah, very exciting. So there you have it, the Abundant Beauty Mask celebrating 150 color inspiration projects. And I am looking forward to seeing you next week in my craft room with my next project. And remember, until we meet again, to stamp, eat, sleep, repeat. Bye!